Hey everybody, it's Thomas. Let's talk about some Blood Bowl League of Blood Bowl. So, this week, some things happened, as is my way. I had a piece die, and I got a replacement level 2 piece. So, kind of frustratingly, Yada Yada Dada died after very recently hitting level 2. It's a little frustrating. But on the plus side, and you get your gum 2. Hit level 2, so we still have the same number of block Pitfighter cultists available to me, which is good. A little frustrating though, because it'd be nice to have, another level 3 Pitfighter cultist. It'd be nice to have just more level 2 Pitfighter cultists. But them's the breaks. Also, I don't know, not a lot happened for me SPV wise this week. Betty hit a bunch of people, which is great. Mighty Blow is apparently what she was looking for. She didn't have the strength to smash things hard enough before, but now she does. So picked up 2 more injuries on her, so she's up to 13. Actually really close to hitting level 3, which is pretty exciting. She hits level 3, probably get, I don't know, Stand Firm or Guard. I haven't decided which one. Guard is probably the most appealing though, so I'll probably pick up that. Gonna miss next game here with a minus armor on the Corn Hill. The minus armor is actually a pretty big deal. This piece is still good. I'm half tempted to fire it anyway, but it's too late in the season really for me to get away with that. If it was earlier, I probably would have, because having 8 armor value is kind of what makes the Corn Heralds good at being block pieces, or block guard pieces, so we'll see what happens there. Out next game anyway, so I don't get a lot of choice. Because of that, I did end up, I hired a replacement for Yada Yada Dada to hit to 11, and then I decided I still want to be at 12, at least 12. 13 is obviously the number I'd rather be sitting at, but I can't really afford to swing too much more here, because I'm going to be at 1700 once the Corn Herald comes back anyway. So I added Tyrea, which was my last remaining name. So there you go. Let's look at the game. If you haven't watched it, obviously it'll be up here. It kind of went about as poorly as it could have in a lot of ways. My dice weren't particularly bad, as I said, kind of in the game, but when they were bad at really inconvenient times. So I still hit some people, but I got beat up a little bit, and I had some losses early on. One of the reasons why Yada Yada Dada died is you didn't actually add a skull to the pile, as you can see here, but rather got minus strength, which on a Pitfighter Cultist is the same as dead. So, well, same in a lot of pieces, is the same as dead. So that was the end of that. Yeah, I don't know. Andrew knocked out some key pieces pretty early on. I lost Wigs, and Socks like turn 3, which definitely hurt. And I just really wasn't able to capitalize too much. Just stalled out my initial drive, and then I slowed him down for a little bit, but couldn't do too much more than that just because I lost so many pieces. So there you go. I don't know. Andrew played really well too. Defended really well, and just his team is really hard for my team to deal with because of all the guards. So it is what it is. Dice were a little bit better. Probably could have won the game, but that's true of pretty much every Blood Bowl game ever. So 2 losses in a row. Not so great. This puts me in kind of a bad spot. We'll talk about that a little more in the rankings, though. But 30K is a little frustrating, but it's not the end of the world. SPP-wise, because I didn't do this here, I got 9 SPP, which is definitely not what I want. Andrew, on the other hand, walking away with 6, 9... 14 SVP, which is pretty good. Obviously, he wants more than that, but 14 is still pretty good. 3 casualties, nothing to be too upset about. Let's take a look at Andrew's team. In terms of money, Andrew got 30K as well. He had a 40 and then re-rolled down to a 30. So that was good for him, I guess. But luckily, didn't mean to do that. Luckily for Andrew, though, he doesn't really need to spend his money on anything. The benefit of having all these really hard pieces that I've mostly played in every single game is that they're really reliable, and they're really sturdy. Level ups for Andrew, I think he got 2 here. Yes, the Minotaur got level 3 and took piling on. Some mixed feelings about this, in part because you're basically then saying, okay, every time I pile on, I'm going to blitz with this Minotaur. As long as Andrew is a little judicious with his piling on, he should be okay. This is not a bad choice by any means. But the Minotaur is also a big deal just by having 5 strength. So we'll see. Any others? Oh, yes. Zarkon Light Corpse is pretty heavy now. He picked up Mighty Blow. Maybe when he dies, all of his goodness will flow out of him. I have no idea. Otherwise, Andrew's team is still terrifying. Probably one of the scariest teams on whole in the league. But certainly a very beatable team nonetheless. Still all the guard. Very hard to deal with. Kind of good news for everybody else is that Dark Quick Tooth did not manage to do too much despite having Claw. Up to 9 SPP though, so not that far away either. Yeah, I mean, this team is great. There's nothing really wrong with this team. I guess the only thing I'd like to see is Hollow Heart hit level 2, but I'm sure Andrew wants that even more than me. It would be worthwhile, I think, prioritizing blocks for him. I mean, he's still got block and tackle, so all the blocks are going to be reliable. They just may not hit that hard. Otherwise, if you get a touchback, maybe give him the ball. Otherwise, you're just hoping he gets a MVP, and that's no good. So yeah, just prioritize hits on this piece. It's going to be a little tough because you also want all these other pieces to level up too. So we'll see. Right on back actually 1 injury away from hitting level 3 as well. Once he's got like 3 pieces at level 3 or above, this team is very scary because then you have guard, mighty blow on a lot of these idiots, and that's quite a bit to deal with. I think that's about it. Yeah. Let's take a look at the other games. That's too far. We want this week here. Chris versus Jessup. Chris's dice took a nap, I guess is the shortest way of describing this. Obviously, you can watch the game, see for yourself. The first half went okay. The second half was a bit of a disaster. Chris had a chance to tie up the game, and then his vampires just said, screw you, I hate you. So 2 casualties, a pass, an MVP. 10 SPP is definitely not what this team needs. Jessup on the other hand went on a tear, killed a piece. Killed a pretty significant piece too. We'll look at that in just a second here. But 3 casualties, touchdown, a pass. Just, yeah, this team is all over the place, basically. Racking 15 SPP total, right? 6, 10, yeah. 15 SPP. So that's really good. 60k as well. This is definitely money Jessup needed to help bolster up his team. I don't know what he's going to do with it. Long-term, Bond Gutter number 4 is key. Level ups, I don't think he got any, actually. Not seeing any. Yeah, I think Malarkey had Mighty Blow before. If he didn't, he does now, which is definitely good. I kind of feel like Malarkey didn't have Mighty Blow before. Yeah, I feel like he got MVP, which is kind of funny because most of his SVP is from MVPs at this point. Yeah, Claw, Mighty Blow, 4 strength. This piece is a nightmare. Thank God it only has 7 armor value and is relatively easy to remove despite having 4 strength. Other aspects here, I don't think anyone else changed here. Bullshit, son of bullshit, or bullshat, son of bullshat, depending on how you choose to pronounce it. Got some casualties as well, so that's good. 2-4 on that one. Actually, this one might have been the one that killed the piece. Let's take a look at Chris's beaten up team. Chris is very reasonably upset about how terribly this game went for him. Rolled 70k at least, so Chris can continue to make tons of money and not have a lot to do with it. So here's the problem. Chris, this Thrall is missed next game. This Thrall is also missed next game with minus AV. I think this might have happened before, but Block Guard is gone. And as you may note, the other Block Guard Thrall is gone as well. It's a huge chunk of SPP and team value gone from this team, and it really is going to hurt Chris. Presumably he's going to rehire the Thrall, but yeah, Chris is basically having a bad time. This game did not go very well whatsoever. Not a lot to say. I mean, his dice just were not cooperative. They were less cooperative than mine, and they were uncooperative at very inopportune moments. That's the kind of thing that happens when you're behind, though. So, is what it is. Okay, let's look at the other matchups here. We had a big blowout here from Chaos versus Mark. You can take a look at that up here. 70k for Gredek, awesome amount of money. This is basically just Mark's trying to hit Chaos. Oop. Mark trying to hit Chaos, and Chaos hitting back, and Chaos winning because they're bigger. That said, even number of casualties actually, 3 and 3. Mark actually killed a player as well, but the kind of 7 KOs sustained is a big deal here. Mark's dice were also not that cooperative at inopportune moments. I don't know. I mean, this is just, I don't know if this is anything Mark could have done better other than get luckier. He just wasn't dishing out the hurt at the right time, was on the right pieces, essentially. Just, yeah, not great. So yeah, 3 casualties, 3 touchdowns, MVP. This is a ton of SPP for Gradek's team. We're looking at, we can do math, I promise, 15, 20 SPP. It's an absurd amount of SPP at this late of the game. Mark walking away with only 11, which is not bad, but it's really not that great. So Gradek's team getting 2 level ups here on some pretty big pieces here. This beastman hits level 4. I don't really know what you want to get here. Assuming it's a normal roll, extra arms block, big hand would come to mind. Also potentially could get guard. Wouldn't be a bad pickup for this team. More guard is definitely excellent. I actually like guard quite a bit because this team could use some guard, and this is kind of an easy piece for it. Cheetah Temelon still 1 away SPP away from level 3. Tiger Tuscan gets level 3 though. That's a really big deal. assuming guard here as well. This team needs more guard. So with 2 pieces with guard, that's a really good upgrade. I mean, there's a lot of options you could get on this ball carrier. Big hand is certainly not a bad idea to help pick up in traffic, but I'm a big fan of getting guard. Any other... No, it's Lion Ionic, not that far away, 1 MVP away from hitting level 4, which let us all tremble in fear for the day that happens. Yeah, no one's looking forward to a Mighty Blow block, 5 strength Chaos Warrior. No, thank you. 590 in the bank. Probably going to replace his Beastman. I would lean towards adding another one. This team, I mean, at this point, Greta has to accept that her team value is going to be ridiculous. You might as well have more bodies to fill in the roster. I'd say another Beastman wouldn't be too bad. Bump this team up to 13 players, which is what is a pretty happy number. Could stay at 12, though. There's nothing wrong with sitting at where she is now. Okay. Other side of that was Mark. So 60k for Mark, not that bad. So the bad part is here. Yeti gone. Yet again here. This piece being out really doesn't matter. Honestly, Mark could probably get away with firing and rehiring it, but probably wants to save the money in case he needs to replace like a werewolf. Any other changes? I don't think so. No other, yep, no zeros. Nothing too significant there. Let me take a look here, see if there's anything else. Nope, I think that's it. Okay. Last couple of games here. We've got... That's next week. That's actually 2 weeks from now. We've got Undead versus Orville. This match just happened. I don't really have a lot of details on it, so we'll try to guess based on statistics. 60k for Zach, though. That's good. Well, based on these numbers, I'm guessing Orville threw the ball around a lot, and Zach punched him really hard. Or hard enough, anyway. 2 casualties, a touchdown. These are things that are fine. This is a total of 12 SVP, not too bad. Orville walking away with 8, not the best there whatsoever. Look at Zach's team here. Level up on the Mummy, got Piling On. This is a huge mistake. Piling On is a gigantic waste on a Mummy. They're too slow to take advantage of this. This is a colossal mistake that should be stand firm. There's not really any question about it. Mummies are really boring with their progression, but Piling On is just a colossal oops. Yes, this Mummy will rock up more injuries now, but it's going to be on the ground half the time. This is a Jessup kind of move. It's a move I just don't understand. And, well, I can understand it, but I just don't agree with it at all. No other level ups from what I can see here at all. This team, still great, aside from this giant waste of a skill. Orville's side of things. Looks like... Ooh, missed next game on this one, but no other real changes, no level ups that I can see here. Maybe I'm just blind. Nope, I'm not seeing anything different here whatsoever. I don't know, this team should be doing better than it is, but Orville keeps rolling like 20k, so that's it. Oh, he did hire the Witch Elf. I guess that's the only thing that's different. I'm just so used to seeing a Witch Elf up there. But looks like just purchased it, so probably wouldn't help with having that game, just saying. Okay. That wraps us up for the week. Not a great week for my predictions, as always. Actually, might have been okay. I think I got some of them wrong. No, I feel like I got these right. I don't know. Maybe I got these right. Whatever. Let's take a look at next week here. Let's see here. We've got me versus Andrew. Or no, me versus Jessup. This actually could be okay. Money-wise, he's got 1620. I have less than that. Let's see, I've got 1570. So I get a babe. That's not too bad. If my dice aren't terrible, I should be able to win this game. He's definitely faster than me, but I think I can hit him hard enough where it doesn't matter. So let's see how I win. Vampire versus Andrew. I'm not expecting great things from Chris's team this week. They're in really bad shape. Assuming he hires nobody, though. 1400 versus... Andrew's very big 1660, so Chris is getting 260. Who knows what we'll do? Maybe bribe and a wizard? I don't know. Who knows what Chris will do with his inducement money. 260 also gets him some star players, so we might decide to do that as well. But yeah, I think Andrew will win that game pretty handily. Chris can't punch into that unless he is really lucky. I mean, he's beaten Andrew in the past, but Andrew's got a lot more skills that are really scary. Moving on to Group 2, this is a repeat of this week. So I'm going to say Undead and Chaos are going to win just off the bat. Let's see if anything's different, though. Assuming normal level ups here, 1670 for Grey Duck. Mark looking at 1470. So 200 from Mark. Not too bad. A couple things you can do with that. We'll see what he decides to do. But Wizard actually could be a big deal, so might be more closer to a tie game depending on how good the Wizard is or how good Mark does. We'll see. Definitely a question of dice, as always with Mark's team. Glass Cannon builds are like that. Some quick math here. 1450, no loners, I think, and 1630s, so 180. Wizard actually really good for an elf team because you can zap the ball and get it away. Piling on might make this a lot easier, might make it a lot worse. I don't know. I think if Orville is unlucky and fights the ground, this is not going to go his way. In the potential, though, I mean, Dark Elf could win this. Without watching the game, I can't really say how close it was. I'm going to lean towards a tie here, though. Wizard could make a big deal. We will see what happens, though. Quick look at rankings. So people like me and Orville have a really hard time. We have to win out, essentially, to make it into the playoffs. But we're still relatively close. Obviously, people at 6 are pretty close to making it in, although if they lose their next 4 games, they won't make it in at all. I mean, 5 is the magic number to totally 100% guarantee you make it in. I think 4 is the safest number of wins you need, so 12 points total. So we'll see how this goes. Not an easy thing whatsoever. If we look at Hall of Fame, no big changes here. Not a lot of people moving closer to that level 4 mark, but not too much difference. Otherwise, best scorer goes to the Dean. Congratulations to Mark for holding on to that. Best thrower, Skaven, still holding on to that spot. No new interceptions. Most violent player, Abed, still 2 injuries away of Smiley, which is pretty impressive, considering how scary and terrifying this stupid Minotaur is. The Dean has well padded out his stats, though, 412. Probably going to hold on to that top running spot. Best throwing, Hui actually having the farthest throw there. I think that might have been last week, but it's still very far away. Survivor, as always, means nothing. Best killing, I want to say that we've got more numbers up here. Maybe Shirley and Abed both picked up an extra, or maybe Shirley picked up an extra kill. That sounds familiar. I think Shirley got the skull this week. Best receiver, Dreaded 13 still with 9. God, we had 2 skulls this week, by the way. 3 if you count mine, which I don't. But yeah, 2 skulls this week, so pretty freaky. So, quick recap of my predictions. I think that I will win. I think that Andrew will win. I think that Great Duck will, well, I'll say tie here. Locking it in. Tie. Me, Andrew, tie. And then I'm going to say Orville might win this. If his dice aren't shitty and he gets the Wizard and plays well with it, lightning bolts the ball, Karen grabs the ball. Could be a win for Orville. We'll see, though. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll talk to you later.